Good day, good afternoon, good evening, Beyond Mystic community. Welcome, welcome. Saying hello to some familiar faces and new faces. Hi, Suzanne. Hello from New Zealand. Hello, New Zealand. Good morning, New Zealand and Australia. Good evening in Europe. Hi, Lupo, Tarot by Lupo. Yorkshire, England, wet weather. Aw, cloudy, wet, and cold in St. Louis. St. Louis. Well, hi from Norway. Hi, everybody. Oh gosh, it is so nice to see you all, to feel your energies, to kind of gather together in this way once a week to just hold space and see what comes through from our guides that can be supportive. I don't know about all of you, but it was really helpful for me last week, that information that came through about really connecting with your community of like-minded people. And I had a couple of amazing conversations that really inspired me and kept my fire burning. I also had a day where I was just sort of out of it. So it's a bit of all over the map. There's been moments where I felt incredibly inspired and really productive. I was trying to get a lot done, and then there was other times where all of a sudden I was just like, I gotta go to bed. you know. So I don't know if you're all feeling that kind of extremes. And one of the things that I've been noticing, and I saw this message from Suzanne about heyoka medicine. Great topic, Suzanne. I'm very interested in heyoka medicine. For those of you that don't know, it's basically a Native American term that relates to characters that are basically all about polarity and the opposites. So a lot of times it's kind of like a challenging path to have that kind of medicine where you always sort of are the devil's advocate or say the thing that is controversial to kind of throw a spanner in the works. And people with that kind of medicine, and Suzanne is pointing out, potentially rightfully so, that a lot of us light workers carry some of that, the extremities, going to extremes. We are in this truther community standing on the front lines and looking at a lot of polarity, black and white narratives and extremes. And it's somehow being able to sort of stand in the center point of that and not get taken out by the crossfire of all those conflicting aspects of ourselves and the narratives and the controversies and so on. So yeah, the medicine of that heyoka embodiment is basically to be able to hold a really big, wide stretch of what is possible, and to always be able to reflect the opposite energy. And so when I was talking about my experiences last week of feeling sometimes really charged up and sometimes really laid low, that's pretty normal for these times, and also for developing that character of strength and resilience, that you can hold space for what seems to be polar opposites in the world. So that's my little rant to get us started. We are looking at this upcoming week forecast from today, which is, oh gosh, really the 8th of February already. And this is going to take us up to, well, the 15th. So just post Valentine's Day and weekend. Well, let's jump in. Before we start, of course, I'll remind you, as always, to like, share, and subscribe here at the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel. You can also follow us over here on Rumble and X channels. And if you'd like to book a session with me, you can find me here on the Beyond Mystic consultations page. And please use the coupon code below on the banner to receive a 10% discount on that session. So let's jump in, everybody. What do the cards want to tell us about this week? And yes, Fire Within is saying, wow, that sounds amazing. Suzanne, thanks for bringing that up. Oh, what is on my cards? Fire Within is saying that is a beautiful amethyst cluster. This is, if you can see it, amethyst quartz, which is lovely for basically purifying. You know, amethyst is that gorgeous color purple, and it relates to our crown chakra. So it brings the energy of the spiritual medicine of that, the higher dimensions. It sort of channels that purple ray or violet ray, which is quite pure. And so it's a very nice crystal to put with your cards to bring that energy through. Yeah. Hi, Vancouver. Lovely to see you all here. As you can see, I'm just shuffling the cards. And in a moment, I will lay out our big picture overview for this week. Let's see what is in store for us. No matter what it is, we're going to talk about how to make the best of it, aren't we? Okay, let's go on here. Thank you. Starting off, whoa. Gosh, this is very, very fiery, a very fiery beginning. That King of Wands, a dynamo, the energy, if you're familiar with astrology, this is kind of like the fire sign energy of Aries or Leo or Sagittarius. It's really dynamic. And in the house of Aries, it's got that extra oomph of like, go get them. Go get them energy. So we could feel a bit more activated this week. Let's see what's around it to see, is it well aspected or are we likely to burn ourselves out? Let's have a look. Oh, another king. Okay, so kings in the tarot represent mastery, and all the court characters, there are 16 court characters in all. There are 4 pages, which represent the children or our inner child self, our kind of the energy of new beginnings. And then there are 4 knights, which represent kind of like the youth energy. It's very much about taking action on things and getting involved. We have 4 queens, which represent, you know, the feminine energy and also our ability to sort of devote ourselves to something, to be loyal to something, a sense of purpose. And then we have 4 kings. And the kings are about mastery. They are about achieving the greatest potential that you can in whatever area that is. So this King of Wands, it's not just like jumping in, you know, wild and unruly, which would be more like the page or the knight. But the King of Wands is mastering your ability to take action and also to be creative, to be really motivated. We've got right beside him another king. Now, you've been watching for a while. You know that a couple of kings sitting beside each other doesn't happen every day. So we've got double mastery here so far. A lot of, you know, kind of, I want to say bringing out the very best parts of ourselves this week. This is a card in the house of security, Taurus, money, resources, material things. Lots of maturity here, lots of mastery. So this is controlling our mastery of our emotions around security. So really developing a kind of maturity around the way we're spending our money. So we could be looking at our financial planning from a very mature perspective. I wouldn't say that I always have that energy. So it would be nice to feel that that is in my corner this week, that King of Cups in the House of Taurus. Okay, so now Gemini. Oh, goodness gracious. Are we going to feel a little reprieve this week, maybe, from so much? I just want to say, you know, so much new information that we've been trying to process and metabolize. Like we could feel a little bit of a breather around The airwaves not being quite so jammed with new information. It's a pause from that this week. Um, there's some really, let's just say some really, don't want to call it hopeful, but really inspired new information, new perspectives that are coming through. We're going to maybe see some signs of hopefulness and maturity that could be related to people or organizations or institutions there's a sense of renewal. So we could see a new version of something emerging that feels really good. Ace of Cups, emotions. Cups are emotions. Aces are new beginnings. So a hopeful new beginning. And this is in the house of Gemini, which is about our knowledge, information, sharing information. Yeah. Okay. Now, home. Home. Huh. Okay, there's a couple of ways I could read that. Exhaustion and burnout in the home. One way you could read that is you might need to get out. I know we're right now here on the west coast of Canada that we've had some stormy weather the last couple of weeks, and we've been snowed in a lot. We don't usually get a lot of snow here, and so where I'm living right now, and there's tons of snow, and we've been sort of locked in, and it does get a bit. We call this in Canada cabin fever. Which basically means you've been inside too much and you're kind of going a little squirrely. So you might need to get out. It can also mean that there's some sort of burden with your home. It could be feeling burdened by responsibilities in your home, the finances of things. And, interesting, we've got this real strong maturity card here in the house of money. So we could be looking at re-strategizing the costs related to our homes. And this includes going, kind of toe to toe, head to head with some of, like homeowners insurance policies, anything to do with taxation and all that kind of stuff. It's like, I just sense that we're going to start seeing a lot of class action lawsuits and tackling these things, looking at new ways to structure our like any costs to do with our homes. So part of that is, taking these organizations to task. Part of it is restructuring. So, yikes. Yeah, a little bit of that. All right, let's go to Leo. Leo is about our hearts and what we're open to receiving, how we want to be seen. Well, this is a tough guy here. He's a tough guy. The king, he's not a king, he's an emperor. He's the king of kings, and he's a bit of a tough guy when it comes to, he's certainly not the biggest, friendliest, warm-hearted. So there could be an aspect this week of feeling like, look at all that king energy and the emperor here. There could be a feeling of putting a little bit of a tough energy around protecting yourself. And I don't mean in a fearful way. I mean in a really empowered way. You got two kings and the emperor here. You got a lot of power behind you. This is like feeling like you can really take action and have a lot of agency to change your circumstances. So this would feel like a lot of courage to stand up for yourself this week. And this could be in many areas, but especially around something to do with home, anything to do with your resources, money, cost of living, all of that kind of stuff, tackling these corporate entities that have had a lot of control over our homes and costs associated with our homes. There could be some tackling of that. This could Leo have to do with the puppy show at Super Bowl tomorrow? Yeah, it could. Just gonna put that comment up there, Suzanne. Two kings, Valley of the Kings. Maybe. I do feel like, um, overall, so far, we'll see how the rest of it plays out, but overall, I'm getting a feeling that this is a lot about us tapping in, whether we're men or women, tapping into some aspects of our masculine strength this week, where we really can feel we've got just sort of like extra backing from the spirit world in a masculine way. So that's kind of nice. All right. Ooh. Okay. Huh. Okay, this is a curious thing. We've got 5 pentacles in the house of Virgo. Could be a good week to take the bull by the horns and really do some deep diving with your finances, with your budget. This is the sort of week where you've been putting off anything to do with, insurance policies or taxation or, yeah, mortgage fees, banking stuff, budgeting, anything like this. It's like the things that you've just been going, oh, I'll deal with that later. And you're scared to open the, right? Open up the documents or look at certain things, things that you've been putting off or a little anxious about because you're worried about money. It's not like, excuse me, I'm choking on it. Again, it's not like this is a time. There's to everything. There's a season, and this is sort of like face your financial fears season. I'm laughing about it because it's pretty obvious, according to what we got here so far, that that's going on this week. It's sort of that thing where anything that you've been procrastinating about with the details, because Virgo is about details. 5 of Pentacles is lack of security in the material realm. So any place that you've ignored some details, it's not about be hard on yourself. It's like you're probably going to have extra courage to look at that this week and not be, floored by it. And really, even that you might have the courage to have take action on it. Yeah. So, right? Anything, taxes, insurance policies, finances, bills, da 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 da. Yeah, all that stuff, right? And we all do this, or most of us do. There's the odd person that is, chartered accountant or someone like that just loves this stuff and does it often and enjoys doing it. And the rest of it, it's kind of like we usually have a pile of stuff that we haven't even wanted to look at. So a good week to look at that. Now, so we've got a nice line here. Do you see this? We got the King of Wands here and his little page in the same suit, Wands over here. The little Page of Wands, and that's in our house of relationships and contracts. So rewriting contracts, reorganizing budgets and re-strategizing and then reinitiating things somehow in that financial realm. And this includes, because Libra is also about legal things, legal records and contracts and so on, banking, terms of service, all those things fall into these realms. And we could have this feeling this week that luck is on our side, or we see a way through something that we didn't see before. And this includes relationships like you with life partners, where there's ability to work together. You're going to be on the same page more than usual this week. So you could strategize about some of these things. Okay, well, it's not like, the most exciting week so far, but it does look like, as I said, in terms of outside information, we're getting a little breather. And it's a great time to take stock here. Inventory, anything of that nature. Take inventory of your assets. Look at the things. Look at your debts. It's just that week, folks. Okay, now, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you're going to feel renewed sense of purpose and productivity. Look at this. That's across from that mature king there. We'll feel like we've got, yeah, just a new lease on productivity, even earning potential. You may re-strategize, refinance. It's just a really great week to get a sense of momentum behind you, because the eights are about momentum. They are the energy of, predictable patterns, manifestation. Eight is the number of manifestation. So we've got some momentum here. All right. Another eight beside it. Okay, we're taking a little break. Eight of Cups in the house of Sagittarius, expansion. We're taking a little break from outward focus in terms of, like making big plans, spending big money. We're sort of, we're not just playing it safe and being really conservative, but we're taking a little stepping aside. Maybe even for a couple of weeks, we're just taking a little step aside and focusing on things closer to home. And this could even be with regards to the media. Now, isn't this interesting? I really feel a beautiful thing here, because we talk about this Eight of Cups, where it is a card where there's one cup missing, and this character is going off to look for the missing cup. And there's the cup across from it, the Ace of Cups. And when you put that cup there, this card becomes the Nine of Cups, which is the wish fulfilled. So there's a sense this week that we are like, we're searching for our own holy grail somehow. We're looking for the missing piece. And so you're taking a little bit of time out of that preoccupation with the outside world and doing a little soul searching. I call this card actually soul searching. So in the area of Sagittarius, expansion outward, we've got a little bit of an expansion inward going on. Okay, gosh, pretty interesting so far. Yeah, people are talking about, Heather's talking about tax season, right? We're all having to contemplate how we're going to address this individually, each of us perhaps taking our own unique stand. And this is really an interesting way of looking at it. I'm trying to get those cards to line up, because it's like you will find your own strength in your unique way of looking at things this week. Like you may not follow the pack this week in terms of how you are strategizing. You're just going to have a real sense of what feels right for you. And there's a feeling of like we take everyone else's opinions into consideration, but we are doing our own, I want to say, coming back in and navigating. It's almost like if you were going to go somewhere and you got directions from a few different people, and it was kind of all made a sort of sense, but not really. And then you get behind the wheel of your car and you're like, okay, I'm going to trust my instincts. I'm going to sort of follow what I heard, but I'm going to also go with my own internal guidance. Yeah, that's what this feels like this week, especially around money, finances, that sort of thing. Yeah, okay. Interesting. We're at this halfway point, and I think I'm going to share with you that it is our last chance over here. Let's bring this up. It's our last chance to take advantage of this. Let's do it again. Put it on here. There we go. The Crypto Crash Course. Today is the last chance to get the 10% discount on that course. And interesting that this could be a time to do some more strategy around working with cryptocurrencies, alternative currencies, and so on. So check that out. You can find the link below and you can utilize the coupon code. Today's the last day. It looks like it is already, the coupon code is actually already applied. All you have to do is go on and register. So that is pretty cool. All right, let's keep going here. Yeah. We're looking at Capricorn now. This is the highest house of the wheel, and it is a lot about our, let's just say this is our kind of destiny, where we're going, our purpose, self-actualization. You know, what are we accomplishing? Boy, this is interesting. Look at this. We've got the 10 of Wands down here, which means we're coming out of a bit of a hibernation period. We're coming out of a bit of a heavy time. And there's a sense of renewal this week. Because look, you've got two aces, the Ace of Cups in the house of Gemini, Ace of Wands in Capricorn, really activated. This guy, you know, King of Wands in Aries, a lot of motivation, a lot of new energy, a lot of new inspiration this week. Goodness, I can't wait to get to this week. It's like so far feeling pretty exciting and like you're going to be inspired and motivated. Okay, next one is in the house of friends, networks, your community, your allies. Oop, look at that, folks. How many eights? Let's count them together. 8 of Pentacles over here in Scorpio, 8 of Cups here in Sagittarius, and now we got 8 of Swords in Aquarius. 3 of a kind is a blessing. 8s are about momentum. 8s are about manifestation, things kind of locking into a groove. Well, I want to say, you know, we've really been locked in. You know, this is a locked in card. And it is Swords, which is thoughts, ideas, communications. And this person is kind of shut off, right? They got blindfold on, they're sort of tied. Although the rumor is that they can actually take that blindfold. They can untie their hands, it's loosely tied, and they can take the blindfold off, but they've gotten so in the habit of it, they don't even know that they are sort of locked in. And I just see this in a way as our sort of connection internally, spending so much time indoors on our devices too. We get sort of like in this, yeah, like a sort of a haze or something, like we just forget. It's a habit. We've grown into these habits and they're actually closing out our friendships. You know, you're not the only one. If you say, well, you know, I've lost a lot of friends because of different attitudes about what's really true in the world, that's one thing. There's also a lot of people, regardless of where they stand on the political narratives, are feeling isolated and alone. This is a phenomena that just, even over the last 7 or 8 years, has just been getting worse and worse and worse. We've been getting really sort of locked out of each other's lives. So I don't know. We'll see what's on the other side of this, but I feel like, you know, just making an effort this week, because we're blessed to work with the energy of momentum. And this is around our ideas with regards to our friendships. So, you know, we could be telling ourselves something about friends. We could be saying, oh, you know, everybody's too busy, or, you know, people haven't reached out to me or gotten back to me, or, you know, there's too many dividing factors in our connection. It's possible this week that you could look and see common ground, especially around this energy of the Emperor and protection. You know, we have some common enemies, regardless of where you stand on your truths. There's some common enemies, and I think we're seeing a lot more of that with the different sides of the truther equation. We're seeing a lot of people that, regardless of where they stand in their personal beliefs, they see that there's certain things that need to be addressed. And, there's a bit of solidarity here. So this could be a week to break through the ice a little bit, break the ice in friendships. It will serve you well down the road, especially because we've got those 3/8, which is a blessing in breaking through with momentum. Yeah. Okay. And the last card of the week going in the last card of the wheel, I should say, we'll put one in the middle, but this one going in the house of Pisces, which is a lot about the deep subconscious. This is about, this is actually about our subconscious narratives, or the things that are running the show under the surface. What they say, we have like 20 or 30% of our conscious awareness that we know about our thoughts, our beliefs. And then there's like quite a lot that is almost like subconscious programming. And often it sort of jumps out when we're not expecting it. And we're like, where did that come from? Where did that reaction come from? Where did that statement come from out of my mouth? Where did that sudden feeling come from? And that's because it's a lot of the stuff that's running under the surface that we may not be aware of. So, it feels like we're doing a lot of sort of bringing some of that to the surface in the next year or two, and clearing the stuff that just doesn't serve us. On our conscious mind, we could be like, this is what I believe, this is what I value, this is where I'm going. And subconsciously, your subconscious could be like not on board with that. So we got some subconscious repatterning to do here. And it is much more of an internal process. Now, isn't this interesting? You look at this, everybody. There's only 2 cards in the tarot with blindfolds on. And there's one and there's the other. So 2 out of 78 have blindfolds, and they're right beside each other this week. So something is emerging. We've been blind to something. We've been blind to a few things, right? But we've been blind to something about ourselves, about our subconscious beliefs and motivations and patterns. And before we attack outside, it's important to reflect. So we've got 2 cards about reflecting inward. Now, we are coming up here on a moon cycle this week as well. Good heavens, I'm just gapping on this for the moment. It's because I haven't been outside enough to see where the moon is at. Are we at a full moon? Are we at a new moon? I think we're at a new moon. Anyway, if there is a moon in the sky right there, and this indicates a 2-week period. This card often indicates a 2-week period. So there's a pause here. Pause to contemplate. All is not revealed yet. We're in between something. We're in between different thank you, Crystal. It's a full moon. Okay, so if it's a full moon and it is in Leo, thank you, full moon in Leo at 24 degrees. Beautiful. And this is on Wednesday, right? Oh, I remember now. I knew that. I knew it was full moon. Just gapped it from there for a second. So full moon in Leo, isn't that interesting? Because Leo, right here, Leo is a lot about our feeling confident, extroverted, larger than life, being seen, the full moon spotlight on our Leo selves. This is interesting. It's like, what do you want to be seen for? What do you want to use that being seen to do? And it feels like this guy is pretty confident, pretty yeah, like almost like he's going to conquer anything. So there's this energy that we can conquer anything, especially with that full moon in Leo, like extroverted feeling coming up. Yeah, that's this extroverted king over here too. So a lot of extroverted energy, but also the need to retreat inwardly a bit. And those 3/8 giving you a sense that we're being blessed to set a new cycle, 2 aces and 3/8, setting a new tone, setting a new momentum. What kind of energy do you want to bring? I mean, we are just barely winding down winter here in the Northern Hemisphere. What do you want to bring? What do you want to plant? Right? This is a card about planting. This Ace of Wands, you notice it's literally like new growth on the tree, the new buds of spring. So what do you want to plant this week? Okay, that will actually be about the next 7 or 8 months even. And the final card in the center. Okay, I want to speak about this for a minute because it feels a little bit like, oh, is it a moon or a sun on the Eight of Cups card? Thank you for that. I'll just speak about that. That is, it's actually a full moon there on the Eight of Cups, and it is one of the only 2 cards in the tarot, other than the moon card, that has a moon on it. And so there's that moon there and that one there. Good point. So I want to just speak about this Three of Pentacles in the center here for a minute. It feels like a lot of people are trying to reinvent the wheel. And they are trying to, we've got renewal, we've got a fresh start, we've got new momentum, but a lot of people are trying to almost go to plan. When you develop a plan, a strategy, a business plan, and so on, first thing you have to do is take stock. Then you have to do sort of your market research and analysis. Then you have to do some test models and all of that stuff. And it feels like a lot of people over the last 3 years have been like, let's just cut to the chase. We don't have time for all that. Let's just get out there and start doing stuff. And I think if you've been in that mode and it hasn't worked, you can be a little tired from feeling like you've been trying to make things happen and it just has, a lot of people have been telling me lately, oh, the world's not ready for what I'm doing or what I want to do or what I believe or what I'm ready to build. And it's not to say that you're not ready either, but there's something about the way we're going about it. We're trying to quickly shortcut to the productive part, and the productive part is going to be so much more stable, sustainable, valuable if we put in that work in the preparatory 2 or 3 months, 2 or 3 years. So I think we've been a little ahead at trying to rush some of these processes. And this week is us going back and going, you know what, I'm going to take stock. I'm actually going to do all that detailed stuff that I don't like. But it's going to really give us a feeling that we're stabilized, and it feels like we can open up and sense renewal and a new beginning. So Capricorn and Aries. Oh yeah. Oh, it's an eclipse. Is that right? Woo. Okay. Amazing. The crescent moon is on the Two of Swords. Yes. That's the crescent moon on the Two of Swords right there. And then here's the full moon. But you'll notice that this moon on this card, can you see it there? It's almost like both a full moon and a new moon. I think it just is really talking about cycles of the moon, and a little bit longer cycle maybe than this one. To me, this is just the 2 weeks between a moon cycle, like between a new moon and a full moon. Yeah, Debster saying, I always feel better after getting all that detailed work done, right? Like it's not fun, but it really is. Yeah, cleaning out first. Oh. I go to click on something and it already has moved up by the time I touch it. Yeah, cleansing out first. Even in our home area, right? There could be a little bit of that, well, that dreaded, house cleaning, feng shui clearing. And I always advise people, you don't have to do it all at once. In fact, that's probably not a good idea because a lot of times when we try to clean the whole house or do a whole house of feng shui reorganization, we get sick because we've just literally moved too much energy all at once. But it could be good to get into this week and at least get a good beginning of that started, and maybe even set out a plan over the next month or two of doing, a couple more of those good deep cleaning, because it's on every level, right? It's in our bodies, it's in our homes, and then it's in our lives. And it does make way for all this new growth. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, gosh, and check it out. Are you noticing with me? There's only one major arcana here this week. One. Just our emperor. So that is a bit of a less demanding week in terms of outwardly demanding, which is kind of what I've been saying. There's a bit more reprieve going on this week. And if we do have one strong energy, it is this patriarch, it's the emperor, which also, just to leave you with this thought, it relates to our father figure, our father energy. So there could be some kind of blessing this week because it's in Leo, which is about receiving some blessing from the energy of a positive father figure. Now look at this. It's like also maybe even having more compassion for your own father figure, because we have on either side of this emperor, on the one side is 10 of Wands, exhaustion and burnout, and on the other side is 5 of Pentacles, which is struggle and material lack and lack of resource. So it's something about acknowledging the challenges faced by a lot of our father figures. And it just seems like this week that masculine energy is going to get a boost, a lift. And that could also be a time for us to do some forgiveness work with our own fathers or father figures. So that's just to leave you contemplating, since there's not a lot of else. No other of the 22 major arcana are here in this spread. So interesting. Well, folks, this has been amazing. As always, I'm going to bring your attention back over here. Let's change the setup a bit. And I want to remind you to like, share, and subscribe. Finding us here streaming live with so many different amazing live shows at the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel, and also streaming live on Rumble and X channels. And you can book a session with me on the Beyond Mystic platform. You can find me on the Beyond Mystic consultations page. There's a link below, and you can use the coupon in the banner across the bottom and get a 10% discount on your session with me. And I am taking bookings for next week. So I hope you have a beautiful week, everybody. It's been a real pleasure, as always, to share with you. And I'm always so delighted that such incredible wisdom comes through, because As I said many times, if I were to just do this for myself, I don't get anywhere near as profound a result as I get with all your energies kind of coalescing and holding space together. So have a lovely week. Enjoy the full moon. Enjoy the holiday or the special day of Valentine's Day. And if you don't have a Valentine, be your own Valentine. Do something loving for yourself. Get yourself something, a treat, some flowers, something that you want. Gift yourself. Be good to yourself. Have a beautiful week, everybody. I'll see you here next week. Bye for now.